Another incident has surfaced on Dread Next Door, and this one is guaranteed to send chills down your spine. I still remember the day I received the letter, its cream-colored envelope standing out among the bills and junk mail that cluttered my mailbox. My name, Emily Maynard, was typographically perfect, as if written by a professional calligrapher. The letter itself was brief, inviting me to Blackwood House for the reading of the late Mr. Edward Blackwood's will. I was listed as a beneficiary, though I had no recollection of ever meeting the man. The day of the reading arrived, and with a mix of trepidation and anticipation, I set off towards Ravenswood Lane. The journey was long, winding through hills and dense forests that seemed to grow darker with every passing mile. Finally, Blackwood House came into view, its towering spires and turrets reaching towards the sky like skeletal fingers. The air around it seemed heavy, as if the house was watching me, waiting for me to step into its shadows. As I entered, a chill greeted me, not just from the cold, but from the feeling of being an intruder in a place that did not welcome strangers. The interior was just as imposing as the exterior, with cobweb-covered portraits hanging on the walls and a grand staircase that curved like a ghostly ribbon. The reading of the will was a blur, the lawyer's voice a monotone drone as he listed the beneficiaries and their respective inheritances. When my name was called, I stood up, my heart pounding in my chest. I was to inherit a large sum of money and a piece of land adjacent to Blackwood House. But as I looked around at the other beneficiaries, I sensed a simmering resentment, their eyes narrowing at me as if I were a thief. The days that followed were filled with an increasing sense of dread. I started receiving strange, unmarked packages with no return address. Inside, I would find items that belonged to me, things I had lost years ago or had thought were safely tucked away. It was as if someone was watching me, had been for years, and was now playing a twisted game of cat and mouse. The packages were always accompanied by a small note, the handwriting eerily similar to the letter that had first brought me to Blackwood House. The nights were the worst, the darkness outside my windows seeming to press in on me, making me feel trapped and vulnerable. I would lie awake, listening to every creak of the house, every rustle of leaves outside, expecting someone to burst in at any moment. And then, there were the dreams. Vivid, terrifying dreams where I was back at Blackwood House, but this time, I was not alone. Figures, faceless and silent, would move around me, their presence suffocating. It was then that I decided I had to go back, to face whatever was haunting me, to find out why I was a part of Mr. Blackwood's twisted game. The journey back to Ravenswood Lane was not easy, my heart heavy with foreboding. As I approached the house, I noticed something was different. The windows, once like empty eyes staring back, were now covered in a thick layer of grime and cobwebs. The front door, which had been open with an unsettling welcome on my first visit, was now locked, as if the house itself was refusing me entry. I found my way around back, to a door that was slightly ajar. The moment I stepped inside, I knew I was not alone. The air was colder, the silence more pronounced. I moved cautiously, my footsteps echoing through the empty halls. And then, I saw it. A door, hidden behind a tattered tapestry, slightly ajar. I pushed it open, my heart in my throat. Inside, I found a room filled with portraits, all of them of me. It was then that the truth hit me, like a wave crashing against the shore. I was not just a beneficiary of Mr. Blackwood's will, I was his obsession. The packages, the dreams, the feeling of being watched, it all made sense. The last thing I remember is the sound of my own screams, echoing through the halls of Blackwood House, a chilling serenade to the darkness that had finally consumed me. And then, nothing. Only silence. Eternal, haunting silence. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales. Drop a comment below telling us your personal experience. Until next time, sleep tight.